I want it all. Life for the famous, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so shameless. Promised I wouldn't let it go once I grabbed it, but now I want more, and I'ma have it.
Hey, LockEmUp Hoops. I'm Realistic Randy with MasterMin and BoldBarry. We talk all things NBA. Game 3 is tonight. Golden State Warriors versus the Cleveland Cavaliers at Quicken Loans Arena. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're trying to overcome an 0-2 deficit. Possibly getting swept. BoldBarry, you called this series in 5. We'll talk about that. Actually, we're going to talk about that right now. Just to also let you guys know, we're also going to install the first ever BoldBarry's therapy couch session. If you guys been watching time and time again throughout these podcasts, me and MasterMin are like, we've been calling out BoldBarry saying, you know, what is going on? What makes you so angry? Specifically about LeBron James. We'll talk about that in just a second. But first, MasterMin, let's start with you. Game 3 tonight. What do you make of this game? The Cavaliers, they're down 0-2 right now. And they all said, well, all throughout the offseason last year, if they were healthy, they would have done this. They got everybody. They got the coach they want, and they're just getting blown out. Plus 48 is the points differential through the first 2 games.
Yep. Well, normally I write a few notes just to, break down stats and things like that nature. But today, there's no stats that I need to bring out. Right now, all we need to talk about is Cleveland needs to get it together. LeBron, third best all time, needs to step up. I don't want to hear him talk about, well, I did my job, so my teammates need to figure it out. No, he hasn't done his job at all. Game 2, he put up 19 points, 7 turnovers. Game 1, I think he put up 20 points, like 8 for 20. Played a decent game, but at the end of the day, they still lost by 15 on game 1 and
15,
almost 15 and then almost 30 game 2. So
it wasn't almost. It was 33. They lost by a game
33.
2. Yeah.
So it comes down to, yeah, you can say, oh, Kyrie and Kevin Love's not playing well, but listen, he's not playing well. It all starts with him. If the dominoes effect works, if he starts to play well, the rest of the team will start to play well. I haven't seen a leader at all this whole finals. It looks like he's pouting, and there's a picture that BoldBarry sent where there's LeBron and Kyrie arguing, and then you can see Kyrie's face. He's just looking straight, not even giving a damn what LeBron has to say. So I'm a little concerned when it comes down to the locker room issues right now. I do know if they do get swept, one of those 3 will no longer be a Cleveland Cavalier. I don't know if it's LeBron, I don't know if it's Kyrie, Kevin Love, but one of those 3 guys are definitely gone, and it just seems to not be working. But as far as, and one thing, let me point something out really quick too. You notice in game 1, Steph Curry or Clay didn't do anything. They still lost by 15.
Points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who beat them? Their bench. Sean Livingston was 8 for 10, had 20 points. He beat them. Game 2, Steph Curry still doesn't go off. He's pretty efficient, 7 for 11. I think he had like 18 points. Klay Thompson, he was efficient, but they didn't really go off in their normal games. And who they lose to? They lost to Draymond Green, not those other 2. They lost to Draymond Green and the bench once again. So just wait until Steph and Klay start to get on, and if that starts to happen, good luck Cleveland, because when they're on, the rest of the team's on. And the rest of the team has been on, but their 2 best players. So it's kind of interesting to see what will happen in Game 3. I know Game 3, Cleveland will probably be on their, I guess, they'll probably be on their A game. We'll see. That's supposed to happen, but so far I haven't seen the best team in the East at all, and I don't even think the East Conference is a wash right now. Listen, I understand. I'm almost starting to think that the 6th straight final for Cleveland. I'm almost starting to think that the 6th straight finals for Cleveland for LeBron is kind of like, not, I wouldn't put an asterisk, but it doesn't really tell the full story, because look, when he goes to the finals, look what's happening. If he loses this final, that's going to be the 3rd consecutive finals loss, 5th overall. So that's telling me that the Eastern Conference is really weak, and if he was in the Western Conference, he wouldn't be making these consecutive finals trips. So LeBron, wake up. Don't get swept. At least make this interesting for your legacy-wise, because you don't want to get swept. You don't want that on your resume at all. So
Already got
It's,
one.
it's time to wake up. I think he does have one. That
Mhm.
2007 where a lot of people give him an excuse for that one too. I forgot about
He didn't have
that.
a team. He always doesn't have a team.
Y'all, y'all really gonna sit? Are we gonna sit here and
No,
do this again? Oh
I won't
seven.
do that.
You're gonna sit
I'm
here
not
and
gonna
say
say
he had a
that.
team in 07?
I'm not saying that at all.
I'm not gonna say
I'm gonna
that.
get to that. But
But he still made it.
just still,
You're not supposed to
he
get
still
swept.
made it. At
No
least
one
give me a
gets
game.
swept.
Give me a game.
Jordan never got swept. Kobe never got swept. Nobody
All
gets
these greats
swept
that
in
he
that.
sits at the table with.
Yeah,
Thank you.
if we're comparing him to those guys, you don't get swept.
Thank
Come
you.
on. But I'll let you guys finish that off though. I'll
Bo-
get back in.
So BoldBarry, he's gonna have his therapy couch session. So I'm hoping he may spew some venom on LeBron James. And just by the way, for full, just transparency, the reason we're having this, I've been calling for this segment for a long time, but finally, the people on the fan page, they've been noticing. They've been saying you might as well call this, what was it, Bash LeBron Hoops, or
Bash LeBron Hoops page.
basically this is just the LeBron hate page.
Green shirt.
And we need to get this out the way because listen, guys, it's not all of us. It's not all of us. We have one guy on this podcast that we need to try to figure out what the root of the hatred for LeBron James is. We'll get to that in just a second. But BoldBarry, what's your take on Game 3, man?
Well, game 3. Mastermind already pretty much covered a lot of my points on the overall 2 games and what needs to happen. I'll touch on that as things go on. But I'll start with my prediction. Like I said, I'm going with the Warriors in 5. So I see Cleveland taking 1 game. Now I have a couple of scenarios about how game 3 will turn out. Now, only way Golden State wins in 5 is if Cleveland either wins tomorrow night or they spare themselves of getting blown out by 15 plus. Now, I've been texting you guys, during these games of, when the Warriors go up 12, y'all know what happens. And I think they even had a stat. I think they were like 120 or 120 and 1 or something
One loss,
ridiculous. Yeah, when they go up plus 15. This is before I even, was started talking, or this is after I started talking about 12, going up 12 and everything. So, going to that, that's one of 2 ways of how, the Warriors are winning 5. Overall breakdown of the last 2 games. I know we spoke on the last pod. LeBron, I expect LeBron to do exactly what he's doing right now. Like, this just happens every year, or basically every year, because it's been 6 straight years. So, every year in the finals, we're always seeing one of those games where LeBron is 0 for 5 in the first, 0 shots in the fourth. Granted, this was a blowout. And he did most of his work, I believe, in the second or the third, which is, I believe it was the second, which we scored, I think, 14, which is like, not the time you really need to be doing that. But besides the point there, I want to get to the others, man. I want to, because I know a lot of people think I just really bash LeBron on these situations. I want to get to the others that I've called out multiple times, like Kevin Love, J.R. Swish, who I'm going to call him that now. Or not Swish, sorry, Swiss, like Swiss cheese. So this guy's been having a lot of holes in his game. From game 1, he had 3 points, 1 of 3. And I know Stephen A. has gotten on him after the next game. And then he shot, I think 2 of 6 the next game. And then he's doing reality TV shows. So, I mean, this guy completely, as I've always called, he's not focused. He's a choke artist. He's always doing this every year in the playoffs. He's not about any of that action when it comes to having the pressure being on him, because on every team, if you look at it, he's been really the second, third, like, spark option. I won't say option like go-to, but he's been a spark on every team where they look to this guy being like a spark and to provide some energy for the teams. So he's always, year in and year out, with the Knicks, with the Nuggets, with this team, just hasn't showed up. So J.R. Smith is another guy. Mr. Chocolate Milk and Chicken Nuggets on State Farm commercial, Kevin Love, faking dizziness.
That's your boy.
I won't say faking dizziness because I don't know how hard he got hit in the head, I guess. But from the looks of it, when I first seen it, I looked at it multiple times. Yeah, he got hit. But, I mean, to do all those dramatics, you got evaluated. And for, I think Doris Burke to report that you were fine up until Steph Curry beat you on defense and you gave up and it looked like Space Jam came and took your powers and you hit people with that. So you're like, oh, my God, like, I got a concussion again. I want to stay out the rest of the game. So there's no excuse for Kevin Love. This goes back to, I believe, Tyronn Lue saying that the guy shies away from big moments. He has to call him he has to tell him he has to go out there and be a big bad mother effer. I mean, I just didn't know you had to tell the best power forward in the game to do that. So, I've been a big person who defended Kevin Love, but he has a big part. And Kyrie, you touched on this also, Mastermind. I mean, the guy, when LeBron was going off on this guy, I think he was just trying to really tell him something. The picture doesn't really speak on, like, what actually happened. I went and looked at the clip. And, Kyrie was disengaged with what LeBron was saying. I think, for me, it looks like he's just fed up with what the guy has to say, which it doesn't, that doesn't spell out good for you guys when you're in the finals and you guys are doing this. LeBron clearly is really the best player on your team. As much as it hurt me to say that, he really is the best player on your team. So, this all, like LeBron James said, game 3 is really a do or die for them because they have a chance of losing in 4 if they don't get their stuff right tomorrow night. And I'm sure as hell positive that LeBron James does not want champagne to be popped in his locker rooms again for back-to-back years. So, that's just my little touch on it. He got blessed game 1 and game 2. Let's see what you do game 3.
Yeah, I don't know what to really and look, I'm not necessarily a fan of LeBron James and Mastermind, you guys both touched on as far as, going through the Eastern Conference this week. I've been screaming that forever, that we're not going to know what this Cleveland Cavaliers team is about until the NBA Finals start, just like with, pretty much all of LeBron James' teams except for, the Detroit Pistons and what was it? They overcame the Boston Celtics a couple of times with the Miami Heat and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we don't know. Detroit Pistons was the best series as far as these playoffs are concerned that the Cavaliers have faced. Now going back to Golden State versus Golden State. Steph Curry. First of all, let me just say this. I'm done saying Steph Curry as far as Jordan right now, unless he steps it up. But he's saying that he doesn't want to be. He's not trying to be the face. He's not trying to be this or that, and that's okay. And it's really okay because the rest of this team is stepping up. He doesn't have to do much really. He just has to come in, throw a couple of daggers in. Maybe if it's starting to get tight, just throw up a couple of threes just to extend it a little bit. And then Klay Thompson too. He's starting to get that Steph Curry range. I mean, I know he's not balling like he usually does, but again, his range is getting better, and he doesn't need to do much as well. Draymond Green's stepping up. As of right now, he would be my Finals MVP. Sean Livingston, I already know what he's going to do. He's going to step up. He's going to do his thing. Andrew Bogut, he's playing well. Andre Iguodala, we know what he's about. Everybody seems to be stepping up. That's going out there for the Golden State Warriors. Barbosa even, it seems like 1 through 8, 1 through 9, they seem to be doing just fine. Whereas the Cleveland Cavaliers, who the hell is doing anything? I mean, LeBron, he's going to do his thing, but
he's
yeah,
not
man,
even doing it.
He's not even doing it.
We'll definitely get on that in a little bit, but he's at least he's the only one that seems to be doing anything. J.R. Smith, I told you guys. You guys were saying, "Oh, I hope Steph Curry guards Kyrie Irving." I said, "Why? Put Klay Thompson's the better defender of the guards. Why not because why would you waste your better defender on J.R. Smith? He's going to D himself up half the time, and that's what he's been doing in these NBA Finals. So I like the move, putting Klay Thompson on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he's doing all right, I guess, but that's not what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be the big three. And
I screamed him being Wade.
Yeah, he's supposed to be, he's supposed to be that killer and everything like that. And yeah, he doesn't seem to be fazed by the whole LeBron coming after him thing. But at some point, when is he going to get it together? Right? And Kevin Love, I'm not going to say Kevin Love was faking the injury. This is all speculation at this point. When all I do, I like to try to evaluate what I see on the court and everything like that. But when it comes to injuries, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, let me say this.
You don't know how that person feels.
If he getting paid, was it $113 million over 5 years? You're getting paid as if you're the best, fourth spot in the league. Yeah, it's if he was, flopping, if he was trying to get out the game, saying, "Look, this is a complete disaster. Let me get the hell up out of here." So, then that's a bad look. I do get that. Now, talking about Game 3. Now, I called this. See, me and Mastermind, we tried to show the Cleveland Cavaliers some respect. We tried to put some respect on the Cavaliers' name. We tried to put some respect on Quicken Loans Arena. And they are looking like they're about to get swept. However, there's something to be said about a team that's, completely on the ropes. We saw the Toronto Raptors against the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you remember in Game 3, actually they won Games 3 and 4 because they played with a sense of desperation. That the Cavaliers, they may have just been like, we're coasting and everything like that. So I'll give the Cavaliers that much. outside of that, as far as basketball-wise, there's nothing that tells me, that the Cavaliers are going to win this game. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers to win this game because you cannot win. You cannot lose this game. You can't lose this game. Something's got to give. Your whole crowd is behind you. You're pissed off. Everybody's going. Stephen A's going off saying you quit. Everybody's just saying bring out the brooms, bring out the mops. We said 7 games. Me and Mastermind said 7 games. BoldBarry said 5, and I was like, I could see it. No, but the way they've been balling, everything like that. Oh, maybe they'll step. Maybe they'll do their thing, but they haven't been doing. This team is a complete disaster right now. I'm going to say they're going to win this game just because they have no other choice. After saying all this stuff about, oh, well, you know what? If we were healthy, we would have done this. And Steph Curry, he went through all this, and no point guards on the other teams, whether it's, New Orleans, which, I mean, come on. Who cares if New Orleans had, their point guard when it comes to that respect? Patrick Beverly on the Houston Rockets, what are you talking about? Really? That's going to make a difference? But, we would have, if we were healthy, we would have done this. Well, you're healthy, you got the coach, and you are getting smashed. That is the bottom line. You are getting The Cavaliers look better in the NBA Finals last year. At least it went 6 games with just LeBron James alone, where he knew he had to put up 40 a game. But at least I don't know what to make. I'm going to say the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win this game, game 3, because they have no choice. If they lose this game, it's over. They're losing game 4. They're getting swept. And if you get swept after all of this nonsense about, well, you know what, we would have done this and that, and we're ready to go, and we're locked and loaded, and damn it, David Blatt, he wasn't getting it done. Now we're getting Kevin Love more involved. If you get swept after all that, man, there's nothing else to say. So I'm going to say they're going to win. And maybe, who knows, maybe the Warriors, maybe they'll be full of themselves and be like, we got this. But if you guys remember at the end of last year, they won the championship and everything like that. But they came in at the beginning of this year completely focused as if they were trying to win it for the first time. So 73 wins. So
they heard everybody talking. So,
yeah.
Their focus is there.
Yeah.
So normally,
I'm glad that you actually,
go ahead.
I'm glad that you, just to touch on, you said Steph Curry, he hasn't stepped up, and you're done with comparing him to Jordan. That's funny that you say that, because what other best player on their team cannot really play well and they still have a chance to win? This Warriors team is special.
Yeah.
They're literally a team. They're a team. If they're 2 of their best players aren't playing well, and look, they're still killing the Cavs. So it's just what happens when they do play well? I can't.
Yeah.
They're gonna win by 40.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna
the thing is, I like how y'all say not playing well, because they're not playing well.
They're
just not being as dominant. Exactly.
Right.
They're not being as dominant in the games, because if you look at the box score, they're still pretty efficient. It's just
they
that
are, yeah.
Steph didn't play.
Didn't Steph play 20 minutes in game 2? What are you playing game 2?
He sat on the bench for the most part, but he was with a 7-11 clip. And he was up 30-something.
So I guess
I just think they're just not as dominant, because, like you said, this is a team game.
Yeah.
And that team is so deep.
But normally, if your best player is on the bench for that long, the other team has a chance. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
we see that all year long, 7-3 and 9. That's
But everybody's stepping up for this team. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He was still scoring 30 points a game in a regular season. So it's they needed him to play well.
You said, playoffs is different though, Playoffs, everybody ups their ante a little bit. Benches versus benches. Cleveland's benches are showing up.
And the way it's looking now, if Steph keeps continuing what he's doing and everybody else is stepping up, he won't be Finals MVP again. So it's just
and
how many teams do you know their best player won't get Finals MVP 2 years back to back, bro?
I'm glad you brought that up, because we were both at disagreements with Finals MVP, and I know this is a little early and it's only 2 games, but realistic Randy said that Draymond Green should be, and we both were kind of nah, or we kind of a disagreement. It's too early. But I looked at those numbers, and I mean, I know the bench played well, and certain players stepped up in all those games, minus game 2 because Draymond Green was the best player. But game 1, Draymond Green played a hell of a game.
I was telling you that. Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm just saying,
7, 4 steals and a block. That's great.
Yeah.
He did win the game.
I'm
but
saying
those overall stats for MVP, I feel what you're saying.
And I'm saying if you combine it, I'm saying as of right now, so if you combine games 1 and 2, Draymond Green is the clear-cut Finals MVP right now, which is awesome, because we were sitting here and I was saying the Monstars took his powers back in Oklahoma City series, because I don't know who the hell that was, but he's stepping up now and he's showing why he's the runner-up defensive player of the year. Game 1 specifically, I remember so many times where LeBron James or so many other players would be right underneath the basket, and Draymond Green was just absolutely either stripping the ball, bodying them, grabbing boards, altering shots, and That's the Draymond Green that they need.
Okay, they're soft down low. I mean, Tristan's not soft, but he's gonna body Kevin Love. I told you that already. He's gonna make him look weak down there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm thinking they start.
Shaq stated that too. Shaq said that he's making them look real soft. I read somewhere. I think it was somewhere on ESPN. They tweeted that out.
I'm expecting Timothy Mozgov to play a lot more Game 3 because they need to play. Remember when he won? Remember last year when they were they put Timothy Mozgov. He was killing them down low, so they might have to put him in size because size is clearly something that
everybody's trying to run against that small ball, but the Cavs clearly can't beat this team. I also like to state too that dated back to last year's finals. This now makes, I believe, the 7th or 8th time in a row that they've beaten the Cleveland Cavaliers alone. I know everybody likes to say regular season doesn't matter, but with these two teams, and I've always said this, it matters.
And if you remember, what was it that game in Cleveland when Kyrie was definitely back for that game? Everybody was there. And at one point, the Cavaliers were down by like 40.
30.
Yeah, they got smashed.
Yeah, so I know they won by 30, but at one point they were down by like 40 something. So,
probably.
We'll see what happens. MasterMin, I don't think you made a prediction. Who you got winning Game 3?
I'm gonna go with Warriors, man. Like the way I'm seeing from Cleveland, I mean, for me as a basketball fan, I want to see this a competitive game. I want to see the Cavs at least win 2 straight, but I'm calling it. I think a 5-2. I think that the Warriors will win next game, and then Cleveland will probably win Game 4. But at this point, I don't even care. I know they're gonna lose. You're not beating the Cavs. The Warriors 3-4 straight times in a row. So the series is over in general. So I'll go with the Warriors Game 3.
All right, there you have
heart
it.
is gone.
There you have it.
The chest is ripped out.
Now that we've gotten that out the way, we'll see what happens in Game 3. I've got Cleveland winning just for no basketball reason, just because they have no choice, and maybe they'll have that sense of desperation that the Warriors may not have. Now we're going to introduce BoldBarry's therapy couch session coming up. This is the LockEmUp Hoops podcast. I'm Realistic Randy with MasterMin9 and BoldBarry.
I want it all. Life for the famous, rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'm so shameless. Promised I wouldn't let it go once I grabbed it, but now I want more, and I'ma have it. Champagne dreaming, campaign teaming, so much pain.